Hello. We are doing the thing. Today we're going to be doing orb gravity so we can walk on a ball. So we set it up already where the camera and your relative controls will change depending on what gravity currently is, but that gravity is defined by just the axes, like XYZ. But now we're gonna have it set up so that gravity is defined by the surface of a ball. I guess I'm not really sure exactly how that's gonna work, and it seems like the camera, because of the way we set it up, the movement plane and the camera and everything, it should be able to just adapt to that and be fine. So we'll see how this goes. First off, we got to create that custom gravity script. So I'm gonna do that right now. We got to clear out all the default stuff that's already in there. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. So we create a vector called get gravity that right now just returns gravity. I guess I should probably read this. We support arbitrary gravity, but we're still limited to the uniform physics.gravity vector. If we want to support spherical gravity and walk on a planet, then we have to come up with a custom gravity solution. For this tutorial, we use a very simple approach. Create a static custom gravity class with a public getGravity method that returns a gravity vector given a position in world space. Initially, we'll return physics.gravity unmodified. So we pass in a world location, and then it'll return what the gravity currently is through some algorithm that we'll create, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, we're not even using. Are we not even using mono behavior?
What is mono behavior?
Whenever we write a script, we use mono behavior usually. So we're just writing I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we don't need it for this.
It's a static class. You know,
Oh, that's probably what it is, yeah.
yeah.
Well, because all it needs to do is just take the world position and then return a gravity value, right? So it's almost like it's just a big function.
Yeah.
Okay. As we use gravity to determine the up axis both for the sphere and the orbit camera, let's also add a convenient get up axis method, again with the position parameter. So now we're just getting the up axis in the same way that the ball and the camera do. So it's not actually the exact same, it's not like the same variable, but it's the same value, because it's just derived the same way. So yeah, it takes a position and then it returns the opposite of gravity, normalized. Or the inverse of gravity, rather, I guess. I'm gonna go grab a Gatorade. I think I have a Gatorade. Got the Gatorade.
Nice. I'm not totally sure what we use vector position for.
So for get up axis, I think it's
we're gonna be well,
that's
we're not
the
using
input.
it though. We're not using it though.
Well, not yet. We will, I'm assuming, right?
Oh yeah.
So I think it's just methods that
We're just setting it up.
yeah. So in end game, we would give it a position, which is our ball, like the position of our ball, and it'll tell us what the crazy gravity is, I guess, what the current gravity force is based on where you are in the sphere. And then the other one is just what is the up axis relative to that gravity.
Yeah.
But they're both based on the position of your ball. We can go a step further and include a get gravity variant method that provides both in one go. Let's do that by adding an output parameter for the up axis. We mark it as such by writing out in front of the parameter definition. Okay, I need more info.
I learned a little bit about the out.
How does an output parameter work? It works like physics raycast, which returns whether something was hit and puts the relevant data in the raycast hit struct provided as an output argument. The out keyword tells us that the method is responsible for correctly setting the parameter, replacing its previous value. Not assigning it a value will produce a compiler error. The rationale in this case is that returning the gravity vector is the primary purpose of get gravity, but you can also get the associated up axis at the same time via the output parameter. So it's just a thing that makes sure it gets an output, and if it doesn't get an output, then it throws an error.
Basically, yeah. It's like just adding a thing on return, but making it so it's like changing the thing, I guess. Instead of returning something, it's like just like adjusting something.
So I just combine both of these into one thing, right? That's the point, because we
Yeah.
have this replaced here. Yeah, okay. So to get the up axis from custom gravity, all we have to do is just do custom gravity.get up axis in orbit camera. Like, it just works across scripts like that.
Yeah.
I expected to have to like define it or something. That's good to know.
Yeah, because we wrote it as a public, so it's public to all others. That's also why you might use private if you were to use like the same names for some stuff.
So you don't
across some
accidentally
scripts.
reuse it, like use it twice
Yeah.
or overwrite it or something.
Yeah, if you get like, if you have an aligned speed for enemies or something, I don't know, some generic thing like that.
Yeah, and you don't
think
have to name it like enemy aligned speed. You could just call it all the same thing, and it's fine.
Yeah. So now we have basically what this is doing is just getting the gravity direction as the up axis, or no, and we're saying the up axis is the negative of gravity.
Which is kind of what we were doing already, but not. But in this case, it's a different gravity. It's like gravity is variable.
Wait. Are we replacing it? Because in his thing he writes custom gravity.get up axis.
Yeah, we're replacing negative physics.gravity.normalized within late update.
Oh, get up axis is in, or no? Where is?
This is an orbit camera.
Yeah, but it's custom gravity.get up axis.
Yeah, that's why I was like confused. That's what I was saying. Like, are
Yeah.
we allowed to just do that and it works?
But I mean, didn't we get rid of it? Didn't we get rid of get up axis? Didn't we like replace these two
Well,
lines with
it
this
still
third one?
is get up axis. It's just a different version of it, right? Oh
No,
wait.
it's called get gravity. So I think we do it on top of the other two. Or no?
Yeah, because get up axis isn't defined at. Oh wait. Oh, it is. It's not called get up axis. It's just up axis. Hmm. No, yeah. Now I am confused. Oh yeah. Okay, we can go a step further and include a get gravity variant. It's not a replacement.
Oh, I see. So this is like when you do like uh quaternion, or what am I thinking of? This is like when you can do multiple inputs, or like multiple input fields for the same thing. You know what I mean?
So when
I'm
we
trying to
call
think
get
of an example.
gravity, it does this and then this and then this.
It's like we do get gravity, and if we put in, actually, I don't know how we would differentiate it. It's weird that they have the same name.
Hmm.
Include a variant. He doesn't usually. He writes when we get rid of stuff.
Yeah, and he wouldn't make something and then replace it like so immediately, right?
Yeah, I think this we're defining a second way of using get gravity that has an out up axis.
Yeah, look on this next step. He has two vectors called get gravity. They're two separate things.
Yeah.
So that is right. It's just weird.
I'm trying to think.
Let's
We used
reread
this
this
before
maybe.
in one of these. What would
Well,
it
is it
be?
like overloading an operator? Is it similar to that at all? Or what is
It's
that?
basic. Um, it's like this from rotation. See how like the inputs are, or no, that's not a good example. Sorry. Box cast. I guess it is. They are called overloads, aren't they? Is that what it is?
Operator overloading? I think operator overloading is when you have two things called the same thing in a function, and then God, it's I don't remember exactly how you use that though. I remember being taught this.
Well, basically, it's like we use it so many. We
Or
used it a bunch
overflow
during
maybe.
this, but it was just when you write it so that like if it's defined with one operator, it'll work one way, and if you define it with both operators, it works a different way.
Oh, I think I remember what operator overloading is. I remember. Um, you might have just said this and I didn't hear you because I was thinking too. So I'm sorry if I repeat it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Um, I think it's like, so you have like function, and then you have function. They're both called the same thing, but each
Yeah,
of them accept a different input. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
this
That
one
is
is
what I was saying.
okay. So yeah,
Yeah,
then when you
that's right.
call it, it'll do the one that matches the input you put in the brackets.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So it's the same
I mean,
same thing here then.
it makes sense because like the first one is just position and it just returns gravity, but then the second one includes the up axis, so it deals with the up axis. That's good.
Okay. Do you want to read back over this then, or do you think we move on to 2-2? Or I guess we're already on
Uh,
2-2.
I'm gonna repaste some stuff.
So in this first case, we're only passing focus point. So in this case, we're only using this one. It just gives us gravity. Which is a little
Well, yeah,
weird.
well, we're using, yeah, get up axis
Wouldn't it? Oh, we're
at
using get
focus
up
point.
axis. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I thought it was
And,
get gravity.
but it
That
is
answers my
doing
question.
basically, it's doing negative gravity.
Yeah, it is the exact same thing. We're just putting this line inside of a different script and then calling that script to get it.
Yeah.
So it's effectively just like a reorganization more than like an overhaul.
So in orbit camera.
It's an orbit camera's late update. We replace physics gravity normalized with this call. And then in moving sphere fixed update, we can use custom gravity get gravity based on the body's position to get both the gravity and the up axis. We have to apply the gravity ourselves simply by adding it to the final velocity as an acceleration. Huh. Also, let's pass the gravity vector to jump. So do we just set gravity to 0 then in the compiler? I mean, in the engine, I wonder? If we're adding it as an acceleration, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I guess we may not even use gravity. I guess we have to, though. It starts off with gravity. It starts off with, at the beginning, right? Like return physics gravity.
That's true.
Return
yeah.
negative physics gravity. Like it does have to have a starting point. If it was
So yeah,
at
if that
zero,
was
it'd
0,
just be stuck at
nothing would
0.
happen. That makes sense. So there's maybe either they'll replace that, or I don't fully understand what we're doing quite yet. But either way, I mean, we're just starting, so.
Which part, though?
Right after applying custom gravity, the chunk of code, he says that we apply the gravity ourselves by adding to the final velocity as an acceleration.
Yeah.
So instead of
like
a gravitational force, it's just a force pushing down on it, like keeping it on that sphere. No, I understand that. I just thought that like if you have that and also a gravitational force in one direction, that probably wouldn't feel very good, right? Like,
well, I don't know. I mean, if the acceleration is counteracting it, then it's like identical because the gravity is just an acceleration.
I just mean like, so you have your planet, and then you have the ball on it, and then you're adding your acceleration like this, and then gravity is also doing this. So like when you're here, you have gravity and the acceleration, and then here you have gravity and acceleration. Like these would be two different.
I think the point is that it is negating that, but we'll see. I guess right now it seems like the point is that he's adding acceleration to negate the world gravity.
So I guess would you just float? I guess whatever. We'll see.
Well, probably not.
Let's also pass the gravity vector to jump. Okay. So we replace up axis with a vector called gravity that gets our gravity force from that gravity script within fixed update.
That's in moving ball.
Yeah. See, this is something that, like, when I'm working on this on my own, I'm going to be like, oh, I'll just get the speed from my character movement script and put it on my camera. That way I'll make field of view variable depending on speed or something like that. And it'll just, like, not work the way I'm expecting it to at all, and I'm going to feel like an idiot. It's going to be really frustrating. I guess I could be totally wrong, but I just have that fear in the back of my head that, like, whenever I learn something neat like this and I try to apply it on my own, I do it completely wrong and fuck it up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the stakes are too high.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, I learn the right way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then in jump, oh, we add gravity as a argument in jump.
Can't find jump speed. There it is. Jump speed, gravity magnitude. Okay. Guess
So you
that does
basically
save a
just
little bit.
backspace physics off of it, yeah.
On awake, body use gravity equals false. Oh, we turn off gravity. Okay.
Oh, but
And we
only
do.
on the sphere. Right? Is that what that means?
No, it's on awake. I think because the next thing is pulling toward. So I think he's gonna do more now
Interesting.
to fix that.
Oh,
Awake.
and because we're using custom gravity, we have to make sure that standard gravity doesn't get applied to the sphere's body. We can enforce this by setting the body's use gravity property to false in awake. Okay. So that's a good way to make just like fun little floaty things. You could just make an object have no gravity pretty easily. I guess that was pretty easy in Unreal 2 though. So that's not really anything too new.
When we switch to a custom gravity approach, everything will still work the same. Changing unities, gravity vector affects everything just like before. To make gravity spherical, we have to make a few changes. We'll keep it simple and use the world origin as the center of our gravity source. The up axis is thus simply the direction to the position. Yeah.
So yeah, right now it should behave exactly the same. Basically, is what he's saying before we change anything.
I think so.
Oh wait, I have an error, I guess. Oh, I didn't controlize all of them individually. Oh wait. Some shit is kind of fucked up. I don't know if I should worry about that or not.
But what is?
Well, my ball's color doesn't change at all, first off. Like, it doesn't know if it's in the air or on the ground or anything. And then I also just can't move or jump or anything.
It's weird.
Does yours work?
Yeah, it seems like it's the same.
Okay. Let me see what I fucked up. I mean, I guess it would be in moving sphere, whatever I did fuck up. Fixed update. And you saved for sure? You control. Well, I guess, yeah, it wouldn't work if you didn't.
Yeah. Trying to think what kind of player has what would cause a player to have this kind of air acceleration
What air acceleration?
that my character has. I guess actually I'm not taking into account. I set the gravity to 0.1, so it's really low.
Well, I guess it would have to be like a space level or maybe like jet boots or something like that. Or maybe like
Yeah, I guess
a
since
paper player character.
it's just a lower gravity, it implies like if it was real gravity, then they would have a constant force pushing up on them at all
Could
times.
just be underwater too.
That's true. But
There's a lot of ways to handle underwater.
That does technically count to what I said.
Oh yeah. Okay,
But
I don't know what I fucked up.
Grabbing at straws. What you're not getting any errors? Like messages?
I guess I should bring up the console, yeah. Object reference not sent to an instance of an object. I feel like I get that one like every time though.
Oh, you know what? I didn't put custom gravity in anything, so nothing's changed. I didn't put custom gravity on the object. What do we put it on?
Oh yeah. Well, he didn't say to do that. I don't think we have to do that because we just call it in the script.
I guess that's true. I feel like I had to put it in an empty. But yeah, I guess it is public. So it should just work.
I think this is the problem. This line, body. Oh wait, duh. I know what I did wrong. I used body before I defined it. So that should fix it. Let's see. God, I didn't even hit it twice that time. Yep, okay, it's fixed. So yeah, now gravity behaves normally. Did you already flip gravity to see if that works? Yep, still works normal.
No. I mean, it's always been on like negative, or it's always been in the X direction.
This is still such an impressive effect to me. Like I think I'll never get over this. That's so cool. Like running up on walls and the whole camera shifts to adjust to that new perspective, and it just looks like a completely new thing. They did that in Half-Life Alyx a pretty good amount, and it just like, I feel like that's such a bold move in a VR game to just be like, yeah, people playing this are probably gonna puke a little bit, but you know, they'll get over it. Okay, cool. So now we've created this gravity system that we can edit on the fly a little bit easier, I guess, is the idea. Now gravity is like a variable thing, but it's just set equal to what gravity would be anyways, so it doesn't change anything yet.
Here's a thing maybe he'll do. I don't know if he will though, because I don't remember seeing anything about it. A strafe. Or not strafe, I guess. What's that called? It is called a strafe, right? When you go along a wall.
Oh, like a sidle?
Sidle, yeah.
I've never said that out loud. I literally only knew that from from Wind Waker.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other games that call it that.
How would I do this? That's kind of a tough problem, you know.
In my head, I feel like you would just not even... I feel like you would switch to a different character controller that just, like, slides along a line. Rather than it even being, like, an actual physics-based thing. But I don't know if that's a smart way to do that. That's just the first idea that came to my head.
I noticed that this camera's alignment thing is actually very similar to Dark Souls 3. Where when you walk towards the camera, it doesn't... Like, you can do this in Dark Souls 3. Yeah. Maybe not as close. There's a little bit more of a distance, but your camera doesn't flip over you or anything. And when you turn, it does the, like... It does that circular thing.
I guess maybe the big problem here is... I'm kind of just realizing that... I don't think my complaint is that the camera and the ball... I was complaining about how the camera and the ball works, I guess, earlier, and I was saying how, like, it's kind of dumb that you can do this, like you were saying, or you could just go right up to it. But you're right, like, it does do that in, like, Sekiro and Dark Souls, but your character just, like, fades out, and you can see through them, so it doesn't matter. So I think that's the fix, right?
Yeah, it's just getting clipping to look good. Just
that seems like the best fix.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting here looking at that, like, I couldn't think of a good way to fix this. Because, like, if you make it so that, like, you stop here, then it's like you're supposed to be able to move there, but, like, the camera's blocking you. Like, that's dumb. But then, like, moving the camera, like, independent of your thing feels weird.
I think it's an issue of like coming up, like anything more than that would have to be specific to like what you want, I guess. Like,
Yeah, I guess the answer to that question depends on the game, as usual.
yeah. And this is like this works for like this doesn't need fixing necessarily.
Yeah, it works perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Especially if we get that blend thing where it'll fade out when you clip it, then it's like perfect. That's like a perfect system, I feel like.
I maybe that could be like something I could learn like in a day. Clip masking.
This is kind of fun. Look what I'm doing.
I want to fight enemies.
I know. Give my ball a sword. When do we give the ball a sword, cat-like coding?
I think that's I still need to look into that mesh cutting thing, because if we did that, that'd be so fun.
Yeah, I would just
to
play with that
include-
for hours.
Literally, if it was just like a single sword slash that just did a like went in a random rotation, and it was just like left click, you could just jam on it, just slash in a random.
Every time we do a prop jam, we have to shred it at the end every time.
Yeah.
That would be so
I feel
fun.
like this animation controller would be so fun, or not, this movement controller would be so fun for like a Sekiro type thing. If it's like Sekiro is the top of Sekiro's head, and there's like enemy right here, and you just, you know.
Yeah.
I always do air slashes. That's like my. This feels like you can do air slashes really well. I want to try that random cutting angle thing. I feel like that would be cool.
Yeah, because the first, like, finding, I bet writing a script that just, like, generates a random plane orbited around one
Yeah.
center axis is probably pretty easy. But
That's
the
like
hard
what-
part is cutting the mesh, I think.
Yeah, that's like what he does in the cutting the mesh, though, is like he draws a plane or two planes basically, and then generates them in the script.
All right, well, let's move on here.
Yeah.
Although we've switched to a custom gravity approach, you already read that paragraph, didn't you?
I think so.
Okay. True gravity varies with distance. The further away you are, the less you are affected by it. But we'll keep its strength constant using the configured y component of Unity's gravity vector. Thus, we can suffice with scaling the up axis. So wait, we are still using the built-in physics thing. I guess, yeah, because it still is. But we're using the y component of it? Like, what if my gravity is only in the z direction? Then the y component's just 0, right?
Yeah, I think he's gonna do more, because if you look at the next one, complex gravity is about like having multiple plane or multiple spheres you can jump around like Mario Galaxy. So I think he is gonna do more. Yeah, the first thing is called gravity source. So it looks like we do generate gravity later. But this is just
crazy.
showing.
This shit's
This is
insane.
first about, because like the y-axis is just like the default up axis in Unity. And I figured out why finally.
What was that?
I've like why the y-axis is up, whereas like in Blender the z-axis is up. It's because Unity was a 2D game thing first, so it was like X, Y on the 2D thing, and then the depth towards the camera was the Z.
So then when they switched to 3D, they didn't want to like mess with people's idea of up being
well,
Y.
like the whole, like if you press 2, it goes into 2D mode. Like the whole thing is built around scene. Yeah, in scene mode, and you press 2D or 2, it goes into 2D mode. I think the idea being like you can still make a 2D game in 3D. Like you could still make a side scroller in 3D. Just like placing things, you know, like in the foreground and whatnot. Ooh. But anyway.
Okay, so we replace basically everything in custom gravity every mention of the previous way we were doing that is changed with position.normalized, then position.normalized times physics.gravity.y.
Okay, so now we're actually using position. We weren't using the input positions before.
This is weird. I think I just realized, I guess you wouldn't put, like, you would just leave gravity as default gravity, like negative 9.8, because, like, if you change it, like, it shouldn't do anything if we have spherical gravity, like,
Yeah.
so it should just stay as the default. That's why it's safe to take just the y component of it, because you can assume it's going to be just default gravity. That makes sense.
I think that they, maybe not in the physics sense, but definitely in like the geometry sense, they did this for Animal Crossing, the latest one, with that map.
Think so?
I don't like, not in a physics way, in like a, they retarget like the up vector towards something, you know? Like I
Yeah.
don't, it's not a camera trick. It's not a clipping trick. It's a, they're like walking around it, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess I haven't thought about it very critically. I always kind of
I'll
assumed
look
it.
that up
I
real quick.
assumed it was some sort of trick in my head. I guess I never thought that it was like. But I guess it probably. I don't know.
I always thought it was just like a big half cylinder with not full cylinder, but just like a rough half tube
Oh,
shape,
please.
and it tilted you around. I guess maybe they could have moved the map, but what's that game called?
New Horizons.
I was gonna say New Leaf, but
I mean, I'd imagine they all probably have pretty similar answers to it. Oh no, I think.
the
What was
GameCube
it?
one definitely was just a flat map.
Yeah, because GameCube one like pans when you go off of the edge, huh?
Yeah. How does map?
My shit doesn't work. God damn. Normal gravity is -9 in the y, right?
Negative 9.81.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't working. I'm like falling off of the ball. Wait, am I supposed to? Yeah, I don't get this. I'm confused.
What? I
Like,
can't
what?
find anything on how the map works. I'm quitting.
Aren't we supposed to have something that, like, the gravity is relative to? Like, how does it know what the center is?
He said it was going to be the world origin
Oh, so the
at
the
first.
sphere should be at the world origin for right now.
Yeah, that's what it
Ideally.
seems like. Yeah, at least at this point,
Okay,
that's what he's doing. I think to keep it simple.
I'll try that.
Yeah, I do have to move some stuff around.
I'm just gonna select everything and then deselect the sphere.
Wait, what part are you at?
Whoa. Whoa.
I fell
Whoa.
behind.
um, pulling toward the origin.
Okay, yeah.
Oh wait, this isn't right. That doesn't quite work like I expected it to yet. What if it's like there? That is so sick. See, I made my sphere at world origin, but I think moving it like that, it moves it from like the top of the sphere or something. So the world origin was technically at the bottom of my sphere. So I just scooted it down a bit, and now it seems to be working as intended. Ba-da-ba-da. How did it take so fucking long for somebody to make a game using this?
Probably hardware. I bet it was a...
It just seemed like we just got it going so quickly, relatively. But I guess it's more just like the power of the times. But it's just weird. Like,
there's a lot.
Mario Galaxy came out in like 2008, right? Something like that. And they were the first game to do this. Like, is that even true?
Maybe not. Maybe there was others. It seems like an indie game concept. Like an early indie game concept would have something like this.
The snapping even works. That's so sick. That's so crazy how everything just like plays together so smoothly. Like, I'm not gonna make shit that works together this well. Alright, well, are you caught up?
Yeah, I'm at pushing away now.
Cool, okay. Note that when walking and jumping on a tiny planet, it is possible to end up stuck in an orbit around it. You're falling down, but forward momentum makes you fall alongside the surface instead of toward it, just like a satellite. This is a great way to, like, explain how planets' orbits work, right? Like...
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that a lot of people didn't really understand in physics. This can be mitigated by increasing gravity or the planet's radius, allowing air acceleration, or by introducing a drag force that slows you down. I kind of like it, though, so whatever. We don't have to limit ourselves to realistic scenarios. By making gravity positive, we end up pushing the sphere away from the origin instead, which makes it possible to move along the inside of a sphere. However, we have to flip the up axis when that is the case. Whoa. Is he going to keep it like that now? Oh no, he switches back. I might skip that phase then, right? Like, do we want to do that?
What does he do?
He makes it so that you can run on the inside of the sphere too and flip gravity upside down. Or inside out, I don't know. So it pushes you away from the center rather than pulling you into it.
No question. Or we have to flip the up axis when that is the case. Yeah, I can't tell if... I mean, he's writing cases, so it may work at the same time.
Okay, well, I'm scared of switching it. So I mean, I'm scared of skipping it.
He's just writing. He's just writing basically what he said, where if the gravity is flipped, then he just flips the up axis.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's smart. Could I just put my ball inside of the sphere and it'll work? Or does it... It's not going to be double-sided, is it? Yeah. Well, yeah, how did that work for him so easily? What the fuck?
He may have had to make another one, or...
I wonder if you can just, like, flip faces or something, yeah.
I think there is a flip normals.
Oh, yeah, right there. Flip normals on... Alright, and now I'll put my ball inside of there. Let's give that a go. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, I didn't flip gravity. This is cool. This is Inception. This kind of reminds me of Animal Crossing. This is like the opposite of Animal Crossing, I guess.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything on how that works. But
This is so sick. You're just making Inside Out like ball game. Okay. I'm gonna put gravity back, and I will put the normals back on my ball. And I will put the ball, I will take my ball outside of the inside of that ball, put it on the outside of that ball. Okay, right back where we left off.
I'm gonna put that at 0. Exit 2D. Where's the ball? Oh. Wait. Oh, if you do shift space, you get a full screen.
Whoa. That's so nice.
Yeah, that's a good... That was a
good accidental discovery.
Yeah.
I will use that very much. Oh shit. Oh wait, does it work? Oh, it doesn't work in game mode. I guess because those are keybinds.
Wow. Wait, is this working? I can't tell. Ugh.
Did you flip gravity?
I think so. Yeah, I'm going towards the center, right? Or no?
It should be pushing you away from the center. So it should be positive.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's positive in the Y.
Yeah, it's like hard to jump. I can't go towards the center.
Do you have gravity at 9.81 or do you have it really like a weird number still?
Oh, it is. It is a weird number, but it's still in the range, I think. Oh, it's in the X. That's
oh, okay. So yeah, it should be positive in the Y.
positive in the Y?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Negative in the Y pulls you to the sphere. Positive pushes you away from the sphere. Or at least the center of the sphere.
I don't know. I feel like I'm going straight down. I'm gonna flip it and just try it
Try it negative.
Yeah.
Oh, but did you do what I said though? Did you just put the ball 0, 0, 0?
Yeah.
You gotta, like, I think the ball moves relative to, like, the top of the ball, not the center of the ball. So I think the top of the ball is the world origin.
Oh.
I had that same problem. I had to, like, scoot the ball to compensate for that. I guess you would just
that makes
move
sense,
it.
yeah, because it's...
Move it by the radius of the circle, up or down. But I wasn't that, like, smart with it. I just scooted it and kind of eyeballed it.
I don't know how to get the radius.
But yeah, as cool as this is, I don't know if I ever really... Like, does this align with any of our game ideas we've had? For, like, a spherical Earth idea? Not that you know, if we haven't had the idea, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
But like, I definitely have never thought about using a spherical planet, and I don't really want to more now. I guess it is cool, but
I mean, I do like the idea. Something that like doesn't get a lot of credit, I think, is when a developer has a mechanic that they don't include as part of a mechanic, but they just use it as like a stylistic thing sometimes. Like,
oh, like we just go to a globe Earth in one level for a little
not
bit.
even that. We just have like a zone or something like where you're walking. I'm the thing that I'm
Oh, like
imagining
the hub
is
world.
I'm imagining crawling or not crawling, but like going through vents. You're like sort of like not crawling on your hands and knees, like squatted down, you know, and like you're like stepping, but you're squatted. Do you know what I mean?
Just crouching.
Crouching, yeah. You're crouching through a vent. You
Hmm.
could have instead of like, oh, this is our level where you have to like, you know, overcome this gravity puzzle or whatever. It could just be like you're in this vent and then like, oh, gas is coming through the vents. So then you do this like gravity segment where you're like going down through a whole loop in the vent.
Huh.
That could be cool because that's like they're like, well, they don't know what that is. Like, there's no gravity in the game. You know, it's not a game that has variable gravity, but you could throw it in every once in a while. I'm thinking of like how Far Cry did, Far Cry 4.
What if this is how we do the hangler untangling mini game? You like it's a ball of hangers that you like run along
Well,
and
so that
like
was
pull
part
up
of
hangers.
that is part of what I was thinking, honestly. That I didn't think about that. The gravity. Yeah, no, this is 100%. Yes.
Really?
Because it wouldn't be it's not the player though. It's we have
Yeah, it would be
gravity.
some sort of like energy.
It's hangers. It's the next step when we do the complex gravities. It would be we spawn a bunch of hangers in this complex gravity that pulls it towards the center, and then you have to like yank some out.
So once we get to the point where we're making rigid bodies apply to it, which is like the next step.
Yeah.
Step 3, other bodies. Our sphere and orbit camera work with custom gravity, but everything else still relies on the default gravity to fall down. To make arbitrary objects with rigid body components fall toward the origin, we'll have to apply custom gravity to them as well. Do you think when he moves back to doing like the swimming segment and the climbing segment and all that, does he just say like, "All right, fuck all this globe Earth shit," or does he have like a way to just turn it
No.
off?
A lot of stuff. Oh, well, this stuff, yeah, he probably does. I mean, it's its own script, right?
Yeah, but we
I
call
wonder
it in everything else. Like, I do wonder if there's an easy way for him to just be
I don't know
like,
if we I don't know if we depend on it though. I wonder what would I guess yeah, actually we can't it's not on something, so we can't disable it.
maybe he'll add the ability to just switch it on and off. He'll make it like a serialized field or something. Or he'll just, it just seems weird that he would start it off by being like, okay, delete everything we just did. Like, because he's back on a
Yeah.
flat level on the next ones. Like, he's back to normal gravity after this.
Yeah, I think it's up to complex gravity is where this goes.
I hope
But
he keeps it as just a toggle. If we can just keep all of this, like, pre-done and we could just switch it on and off, that'd be so nice.
well, if we could just do it like
Just
the
save
whole
two
level
versions.
is this type of thing.
The whole level is just, it's gigantic, but it's so big that you can't tell it's curved.
Yeah.
Just like the real Earth.
Yeah. But maybe that may be too big.
I think I got distracted like mid sentence. Our sphere and orbit camera work with custom gravity, but everything else still relies on default gravity to fall down. To make arbitrary objects with rigid body components fall toward the origin, we'll have to apply the custom gravity to them as well. Specialized rigid body component. We could extend the existing rigid body component to add custom gravity, but that would make it hard to convert objects that already have a configured rigid body. So we'll create a new custom gravity rigid body component type instead, which requires the existence of a body and retrieves a reference to it when it awakens. It also disables regular gravity. So he's saying we're creating a script that we would apply to rigid bodies, and it's set up in a way that you don't have to delete the old rigid body, I guess.
I guess so. I didn't see that second part. It also disables regular gravity. Is that what you're referring to?
Just this whole paragraph. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I guess it sets. I don't know.
Because he says that would make it hard to convert objects that already have a configured rigid body, so we'll create a new component which requires the existence of a body and retrieves a reference to it when it awakens. So instead of worrying about if it has a rigid body or not already, we'll just make sure it has one and then use that rigid body in our script, is my understanding of it.
Yeah.
So we're making a new script again. With this is special rigid body.
Yeah.
What did he call it? Custom gravity rigid body. So it creates a rigid body. It requires that it has a rigid body. So if there isn't one, it'll automatically create one. That's what I did for the camera. So that's how I know. I get that. I understand that a little bit more. The require component line. I guess, I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory though. Whatever. And then on awake, it sets the component of the rigid body equal to the variable body and then turns off gravity. That's all it does right now. So anything we give this script to should just start floating in zero gravity, which I would like to test. So this thing already has a rigid body, so I should be able to just also add this guy right on top of it. Oh. The script doesn't inherit a native class that can manage a script.
This is actually some of these like prerequisites I feel like are intersecting with what I did for that tracker script, so I could probably just put it on this.
Why can't I add this component to it? God damn it.
Did you define body?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think I did. You mean just in the code, right?
Yeah, I just caught myself making that mistake. That's why I said it.
I just have this object that I have a rigid body on. I thought I could just slap it onto there. I guess if I just make it tied onto that thing already, can I now drag that onto a different physics object? Okay, I guess that works.
Okay. I'm on the fixed update now. We're just adding an acceleration.
Hey, okay, that worked. See, I have the script applied to this guy, and it just has 0 gravity now. Which again,
So
I could have just done that with a checkbox, but
you have to put it on it for it to work?
yeah, but that
Yeah.
confused me because I couldn't just click and drag it on. It wouldn't work. I had to go and create a new script, and then delete the old script, name that script the same thing, but I had to create it within. Like here, I had to go add component, new script, and then name it custom gravity rigid body. I don't know why that is.
It worked for me.
But now I guess I can just drag this on any other physics object, and it should work fine. Yeah, okay.
I don't know if mine works.
It should just be 0 G's, that's it. Oh yeah, that looks like normal gravity.
Yeah.
It's a pretty short chunk of code. You just create body and then body use gravity false.
Yeah, that's all I did. Fixed update.
Oh, it's not in fixed update, it's in awake. Unless you jumped ahead. Oh, you went ahead already?
Yeah, jumped ahead.
To make the body fall toward the origin, all we have to do is invoke add force to it in fixed update, passing it our custom gravity based on its position. Okay. So we'll see if that works for me. That means this cube is gonna just fly upwards now. Yeah, mine's working. Whoa, it's orbiting. That's so sick. Orbit more.
You didn't do anything with like the physics layers?
Not yet.
It's just rolling off.
This is what I have so far within custom gravity rigid body script.
Oh, I'm one line after that. He changes it right after.
Oh, but gravity is an acceleration, so add force mode dot acceleration as a second argument. Oh, so it's just changing the way the force works to be an acceleration, I guess.
Yeah, then I don't think it worked.
So that's what breaks it, you think? Or that's what broke it for you? Yeah, mine's still working.
I mean, I don't know what else it would be different.
So there should be that then.
Rich body, false. Oh, wait. Oh, I missed. Yeah. There. No, it's right here. It's right here. Body add force. Custom gravity. Get gravity. Body position. Force position. Acceleration.
Oh, that should be inside of the parentheses of add force. That's
It is.
that's an argument. Oh, I see.
Yeah, I just copied it the way he did, but
Are there any caps missing? It's kind of hard for me to read it on your stream.
whoops.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Let's take these off. Not using system collections. Mono behavior. Use gravity false.
Is it because it's a private void awake? Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Probably. Definitely.
What's also fixed update was also private.
I think it's because this first one is changing something else. It needs to be public. It could be. It could
it's
be
applying to the rigid body, like it's applying to like physics objects too.
Yeah, now it works. Yeah, it was the public-private thing.
There you go. Okay. Nice. I want to try something real quick.
The downside of applying gravity ourselves each fixed update is that the rigid body no longer goes to sleep. Physics puts bodies to sleep when it can, effectively putting them in stasis, reducing the amount of work it has to do. For this reason, it is a good idea to limit how many bodies are affected by our custom gravity. One thing we can do is check whether the body is sleeping at the start of the fixed update by invoking the body's is sleeping method. If so, it's an equilibrium and we shouldn't disturb it, so return immediately.
That's probably why when we flipped gravity, it didn't respond. It's because the objects would go to sleep.
That makes sense.
Alright, watch this, though. A million cubes, asteroids, and they're all gonna like orbit around it. That's so cool. I wish they would orbit longer. Look at these ones. They're like actually
bounciness. You could add bounciness to them.
Oh yeah, they would just like
Never
bounce
stop
right
bouncing.
off, and then put like infinite bounciness.
Yeah, you just have to make a new material.
Oh, never mind. That's sphere physics.
Yeah, that's like there's no bounciness in that.
What if I just do I use sphere physics on my ball? Still?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just make a new one real quick, and then just do max bounciness. What is it? Just whatever. Oh, it's just a float. That's a float. Bounce, and then I select all the cubes, and then I apply bounce. Oh no, don't apply bounce to my guy though. Okay.
This is gonna chug. No, not too bad.
They're not even bouncing at all.
Maybe some other settings need to be changed on the material.
Well, look, they're like pulling up. What the fuck? They're like living things. That's so cool.
The ball is like...
It's not perfectly centered. So like this is the point where gravity is the strongest.
This is how you do a crowd.
That's so sick.
Fuck the AI nav mesh shit.
Look at this. It's like creating a... Oh, that's... That's so fun. I'm gonna change more on that physics thing. Friction, bounce combine, maximum, I guess. I don't know what that means, but let's see if that makes it like infinitely.
I think bounciness like 10. I think 1.
I just put 1,000.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think it's doing it now. Yeah, I think it's actually doing it now.
I
Like,
think it's because the sphere is like slightly offset from the center.
yeah, so they're pulling up at like one of the poles of the sphere, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still doing it, but that's so interesting. It's
It looks
literally
like
just like
guys
I'm
running
just getting
around.
swarmed. Yeah, it's like a zombie horde. So
Yeah, if
that's
you had a
one way to
big,
do that.
if you had a big map like this and you just like just pulled the sphere a little bit, they just completely change. Like in scene mode, try right now. In scene mode, raise the sphere up a little
Oh,
bit.
you're totally right. Oh, this looks so sick
Or
though.
down. Bring it down. And then go into game mode.
I'll go here. Oh wait, that's just gonna. I want to see
Well,
this too though.
yeah.
Look at my player characters swamped in there.
Oh yeah,
This
now you
is
could interrupt it.
it's Chubaku Tensei. This is exactly Chubaku Tensei. The
This is
fucking
like
the
how I
pain
imagined the
power.
hangar. This is what I wanted the hangar things to look like.
That's so sick.
This is like how I imagine the hangars floating around. How I would have tried to replicate that. I don't know how, but this works so well. This is also why there's a lot of stuff that is much easier to make in Unity than it is in Blender.
Yeah, you could never like this would be such a pain in the ass in Blender. I want to like triple the amount of cubes.
But I mean, if we actually could figure out a really good system for this with the hangars, we could make it like when he's in third person, like where we're just changing like the gravity pole, you know. Whoa.
Yeah, so like we could make it so that it's just like what the center of gravity is determined by like just like a position.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Bone. A bone.
Oh, a bone. That's perfect. And then you just like
Animate it. You animate it, and then it has the physics naturally on it, so we don't have to animate those. We just animate like where we want it to go.
would it be better to bake that kind of shit though? Could we
I
do
don't
that?
know.
I guess whatever. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, that'll be testing.
I really didn't expect it to do this where it like pulls up on one pole like that. That's so
I
fun.
think there's like a couple things that we could like if we perfect it, then hang or not perfect it, I guess, but I think there's like a couple things that could be the key to like making Hangler run really well. And one of those things is I want to try to do that shader drawing thing where you like draw stuff within the shader, like draw geometry with the shader. Because if I could do that, then we could just have like.
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
You remember when I showed you like the flat plane, the shader on a flat plane, and it looked like 3D?
Maybe was it like a long time ago?
It was like last week.
Oh, okay.
This stuff.
Oh yeah.
You can like the way they do this is they like draw shapes and manipulate them before it gets to the rendering stage. So it doesn't have to like draw it in the game. It just has to draw it like on the pixels.
So you think you could make hangers be like a shader?
I think I could maybe if I could figure out a good way to like replicate the hanger shape, that could be a way that we like drastically reduce like what we're trying to do, I guess. But we'll see, I guess, because I don't know that much about it. It's just such a simple shape, and if it's going to be almost like a particle effect, then there's probably a couple ways we could do it. But I really do like this physics focused approach. Like that's why I loved long drive.
This is
And,
like
you
literally. I
know,
feel like we could use this to make an actual Chubaku Tensei attack. Like I actually
what
am
is
completely
that?
trapped.
I don't
In
know what that is.
Naruto, the pain when he like pulls all the earth
Oh
into like the
yeah,
ball
yeah,
in the sky.
yeah.
Like I can't move. I can't do. My player is completely trapped right now. I can't do shit. It's like if we could make this like an attack that happens to somebody,
Honestly,
you just set the gravity pull to be that player character. You know, like that's
there's
so cool.
like two more steps away from this is what I was imagining the sort of like. Do you remember a long time ago I had that idea of like in basically it was just I like a big jelly blob with chains all around it, keeping
Yeah,
it in. I feel like I could maybe replicate it in
just in
Unity.
Unity. Yeah, I
Yeah, I've
definitely
always
agree.
tried to do it in Blender, but Unity I think is the way to go for it because I can simulate so much better.
Look how it's like becoming an egg. It's like becoming a static
Yeah,
shape. This is insane. This is so cool.
this is how planets are formed.
This is like the coolest shit we've done so far, I think. For me at least.
Yeah, I think I would agree.
Look how it like swarms around the planet. If you go in, it's like they're all like rushing towards something. I feel like there's actually something to that. Like we could use that to make some sort of AI horde.
Yeah.
It would just have to. We'd have to limit their up and down movement somehow, so they're not just flying. But that is so nice. I wonder how
I
many
mean,
of these
if
are
we had
trapped
like a
inside of here.
if we had a physical horde, that would be really cool because you could use that as like an unbeatable enemy sort of thing that you just have to dodge in a level of just like a big crowd of physics objects that'll push you.
Yeah, and
You
that's.
like
I feel
literally
like we could
cannot
do
push
that
them
right
away.
now if we just
Yeah.
figure out how to set the pole, and I just set the pole equal to your current location, and then you just fill the map with physics objects, and you have to run around. And the worst case scenario is this: like,
Yeah.
if you get caught by all of them, this is how you lose, and you win by like isolating them all somehow. That's crazy. Okay, I guess we should probably move on.
What if Hangler was like that? What if the part like what if part of the game loop of Hangler was that if you put the controller down for too long, he's at risk of being like pulled into a
Swamp.
hanger
He
egg.
becomes a hanger ball.
Yeah, it's
They
like
just
I
keep
can't go
sticking to
AFK.
it.
Yeah, I was thinking about like how Dark Souls they get you to keep playing because they're like, well, your shit you died, but your shit's just like down the block. You can just go get it, and then you do that, and then it just turns into a new thing. But that could be an interesting way to keep people playing. Like where it's just like it
Well, then
has
I mean,
like a
couldn't you
mind of
just
its own.
grab them? I guess you have to actively like. There should just be like a hanger purge action. You just like and just like absorb
attacks.
all
I
current.
feel like just attacks would just reset the like. Just doing an attack, I guess it would be your like.
Oh, they like shake them off of you.
Yeah, or it would just like bring them back under your control. That could be a cool like. I feel like that could use or require like a lot of depth to be cool.
But then you could just farm hangers by just standing AFK.
What do you mean?
Like if you hangers are ammo, right? So you could just get infinite ammo if you just go AFK for a bit and just get a fuckload of those things, and then just come back
No,
and
I
pick
was
them
just
up.
imagining like the ones that you have on you. I was thinking more
Oh, like
in
they
the
come
late
out
game
of your pocket.
when you're like really strong or something. You get
Okay.
that like it could just be like a one of the skill trees or whatever, like the downside perk for. Because I remember we were talking before about doing like
A
having like
downside to
some.
every power.
Well, no, just like having. I was gonna say like having specific forms. Like certain trees will have specialized like forms. Sort of like in the what's it called in Naruto when they go all mecha mode.
What do you mean? 8 gates?
No, like the when like Kurama when he turns orange.
Bijou,
When Naruto turns
bijou
orange.
cloak.
Bijou, yeah. Having like a bijou style, not even bijou style, I guess, but I think we had the idea of like different.
Didn't we
Like,
call it sicko mode?
there was that, yeah, but also there was a. Well, we should just keep this could go on forever. I'm
Yeah.
realizing.
Okay.
This is nothing. It's not a real game.
We can finish this right now. Like, we're so close
Yeah.
to being done with this one.
Let's kill it.
Sleeping. You already
Do we
read
do
this,
that
right?
yeah. We do that in fixed update.
So we're just
Is-
creating our own sleep, essentially, now?
No, it already does the sleeping thing, but we aren't taking into account physics's.
Oh, so it
sleeping
will go
system.
to sleep
And
when
we'll
it's
still
not
be,
supposed to?
Well, we'll still be doing stuff to it even when it's asleep. So the idea is that we don't do anything if it's sleeping. If physics isn't doing anything, then we shouldn't do anything.
Okay. This is within custom gravity?
Custom gravity, rigid body, I think.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. That's not confusing. But it never goes to sleep because we apply an acceleration to it. So we have to first stop doing that. Let's assume that if the body's velocity is very low, that it has come to rest. We'll use a threshold of that for the square magnitude of its velocity. That's 0.01 units per second. If it's slower than that, then don't apply gravity. So I guess if it's slower than that, stop putting that force so that it will go to sleep.
Yeah.
It won't, like, float away as soon as we do that. Like, it'll immediately go to sleep as soon as we do that. I mean, obviously, yes, but I guess I'm just confused why.
I think it never goes to sleep because we apply an acceleration. So we have to stop doing that. Let's assume that the body's velocity is very low. Oh, so the assumption is that it has already come to rest. So if we apply, I think it's supposed to be that it's.
Oh,
No, he says that it doesn't work right after.
Oh. Either way, I was making a false assumption. I forgot we disabled regular gravity. So even if we do, once it comes to rest, then we remove all forces from it, and it would still just stay there. It wouldn't matter. I was thinking it was going to, like, fall off. That doesn't work, because bodies begin stationary and can also end up hovering in place for a moment for various reasons while still in the air. So let's add a float delay, during which we assume that the body is floating but might still fall. It always resets to 0 except when the velocity is below the threshold. In that case, we wait 1 second before we stop applying gravity. If that wasn't enough time to make the body move, then it should have come to rest.
There's like, if a body goes straight up in the air, once it gets to its peak, its velocity would be 0.
So this thing would interpret that as sleep, and it would just freeze there.
Yeah.
And we have to take that into account. So it's basically if the velocity doesn't change for like a full second, then, or whatever the timer was.
Yeah, I think it is a second.
Then it'll take that as, like, yes, this object can sleep. Which
it's not even. Oh yeah, it is. Never mind.
It still wouldn't really change how my
No, it's
thing
not
works.
even seconds. It's just update loops.
Oh, okay. It says 1 second.
Oh. Oh yeah, I guess the range, yeah. Outside of fixed update float.
Oh wait, dumb brain moment. I want to put the... How does... Dang it. I wanted to explain how we did the colors that show whether it's asleep or not. I like that.
Oh yeah.
I guess it's probably not that hard. Is there just a is sleep component?
Yeah, we're using it. Body is sleeping.
So I guess I could just take whatever was in moving sphere.
If you put it in the if body is sleeping thing, and then if like we have all the states there. I'm just gonna do one for if it's sleeping.
I don't think any of my things are ever going to go to sleep because they're all max bounciness.
Oh yeah.
I have like is the opposite of what he had. Hold on, I gotta flip it all. So this should be gray. Red is sleep. Yellow. Okay, I guess it was just flipped. Red is awake. Yellow is becoming asleep, I guess. Yellow is sleepy. And then gray is full sleep. Nope, I have it backwards still. Did I not control S? I didn't control S. Classic. Never played it. Well, this thing went to sleep at least. Let's see if anything down here will chill ever. God. Oh no, I'm getting swamped. Get me out of here. Oh, I'm gonna put my mass up hella high and just pile drive through that shit.
Yeah, I think it works for me. Sleep is pretty slow though. I guess no, that's 1 second delay.
All right, here I go. Whoa! I can just tunnel through it. I'm just like digging. It's chugging really hard though. Why is it like more laggy now?
Probably because you added extra text, I imagine. Like extra code. I guess it could
Whoa,
be
look at it like... Oh, that's so weird.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
They're like trying to sleep.
I bet it's because you have to get the material and change it for each one.
I'll remove those and see if it runs any better. Because I thought the whole point of this was to make it run better. And it's
you
like
could
worse.
do it. Well, yeah, I don't know. That's true.
I'll remove those
I think
lines.
this is a scenario where they're not going to sleep.
That is true. I'm going to remove bounce.
You could instead of doing it where it's get component on each one, you could...
Oh, just get component once and put it in a variable?
Yeah, but actually that probably is how you would do it. Get component first and then just set the color and fixed update.
Something like that. No, that doesn't work.
I think do it in awake. I don't think you can do it in...
Oh yeah, it's just the same thing as what I did here, huh? And I did this backwards.
You have to write the type at first.
Oh,
you have to write like...
What is it?
Get component renderer.
Oh, it's just I just call it renderer color.
Renderer color equals get component renderer. Actually, no, you would...
I would just define it here first and then do it here. Like here I would set what it's equal to, I guess.
Yeah.
Still not quite there.
We have equals color on both sides,
Oh,
right?
fuck.
I don't think...
Yeah, that's it. Now I can just do color here.
Should work.
Big brain. It already seems better, but it took a little while to start chugging last time, so...
Yeah, I would be surprised if that...
Oh, wait,
made,
it's
like...
not even working. Oh, wait, is it? I actually
I
can't
don't
tell.
know.
They're
You'll have
moving
to
too
wait
much.
For a while.
Yeah, they're moving too much still.
And there's like a 1 second delay. Plus, it seems like there's a second of imperceivable movement.
They're starting to go.
Well, their movement is starting to get less than our threshold, but I don't think they're ever going to stop moving.
I think it would eventually, right? It would eventually completely stop.
I think it's going to take a long
yeah,
time.
I don't want to sit here and wait, but it seems like... Oh, that looks so cool.
The fact that there's some in the air still means that one is going to tap one, and then it's just going to make another chain reaction. And if it doesn't land, like that one landed, so it's good, but...
Oh, hey, that one's asleep, though.
Oh, yeah.
Wake the fuck up! It's still chugging pretty hard here. I don't know if it's better or not. It probably is a little better.
Probably an unrealistic scene in general.
Yeah. I just feel like it ran better before I did the wake shit. Let me see if I just get rid of the coloring completely.
You did also add like 10 times as many right before we went back to doing this, right?
Well, I played with that for a bit, though.
Okay, you're taking that into it.
Yeah. I should have the fucking frame counter up. I don't know why I didn't do that. God damn it.
You should add a kill box to every single one of these.
If I touch one, it instantly kills me?
Yeah. And then just like have the sphere just animated slightly up and down.
God. I think the colors did make it way worse. I think having the material.
Like, the stuff that really makes it chug is graphics.
Yeah.
So if you have to render all these objects and change how it's rendered, like it can't bake as much, or like its baked stuff isn't. You know what? That probably is what it is, because this is mixed lighting usually, unless like by default it's mixed, where it's partially baked and partially realistic or whatever. So it was probably like once it couldn't hold on to its bakes anymore, and it was like starting to change all the colors.
It would just get caught up on that.
Yeah, like it had to offload way more work.
Watch this. Whoa. It just tunnels through it.
That's very satisfying.
This is so good. Oh, I have 150 mass. I'm still at like above 60 average. I'm like above 70 average. FPS, that is. And this is not even a build. Yeah, I guess it's just making the color change variably like that added a lot. So I guess let me put it back and let me see how bad the difference really was, because it might just me being like overly critical of it.
Yeah, like if you saw those frames in Rust or something, it would be worrisome. Because it means you're like at a disadvantage.
So I'm already at like 30, 37,
Oh wow, yeah.
31.
Yeah, so I think it makes sense that it has to change all these.
But yeah, like you said, this is definitely an unrealistic expectation. I just think this is a great way to like demonstrate like immediately what like
Yeah.
performance changes would happen, you know? Yeah, 21, 20.
Yeah, it's graphics that are. I mean, and even then, it's like you could do a simpler material and simpler shader than the default, like the default Pro Builder.
Did you see that one just plop into a slot perfectly?
I feel like I've seen that a bunch.
That was so satisfying. I just realized I've been on your screen for hella long while I've been talking about how satisfying and cool this is to look at.
Yeah, I've just been looking at your screen.
I wanna see like if I can get one of these to sleep like on the edge. Like that one could sleep right there. That one's just chilling.
Not until it's fully yellow. You got to start seeing a bunch of yellow.
I want to just like leave this running for like an hour and then come back to it and then just plow through it and ruin it. All right, let's finish this. So yeah, this it's funny going back to his demo. I'm like, what the fuck? It lags hella bad. This sucks. This dude's a fraud. Note that we do not force the body to go to sleep ourselves. We leave that up to PhysX. This is not the only way to support sleeping, but it's easy and sufficient for most simple solutions. Why do bodies sometimes refuse to sleep? That happens because PhysX keeps making tiny adjustments, either changing very slowly or oscillating between two states. This can occur when there is a nearly stable collision state.
Oh, you know what? I bet being on a sphere makes a difference then, because it's all tries, and then the box's collisions are all flat against it. So if they hit an edge, they're going to be like teetering.
It seems to work for him. Oh, you're saying that's why that would sometimes happen?
Yeah, because yours were really big.
This is true. I think I could very easily make them all pretty small if I just shift select here and then I do scale, just do like 0.1 instead of 1. Now I'm gonna be getting attacked by like grains of sand.
That'll look pretty cool. Hit that shift space. Or no, you can't in game.
Oh my god, it lags so much more.
No.
What the fuck? Why is it way worse?
The hitboxes are too small.
Oh, I missed one. This one's gonna get so fucked up. Just gonna be covered in sand.
Damn, I wonder why it makes it worse.
Whoa. Whoa, that's so sick looking. It's like bugs. I missed a couple. I missed a good handful of them. Whatever. This is going to look crazy when this is all done. Like settling. That's going to look like like flies on shit. Look how far out they're going though.
Raise their mass really high, maybe.
Okay.
I guess that shouldn't... Maybe that shouldn't matter. I just feel like PhysX might let it rest quicker if it has more mass.
Let's put like 50 mass. Is there anything else I should change on them? Oh, is the collider... Wait, does the collider automatically scale?
Maybe not. Check... Can you look at collider?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Okay,
the green line right there is the collider.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll just let it go. Maybe I should turn the color off so it'll run a little bit smoother.
I don't know why it did that.
What?
Other than maybe just like ran way worse on it.
Oh, yeah.
Transform change. I think it could be because it's applying to everything below it.
I think your idea made sense that maybe because it's smaller, it's more calculations too.
Yeah.
'Cause even with the renderer turned off, it still is pretty bad.
Oh, now they're just hitting the.
I wonder if this is making the bounciness work more.
This is like the golf ball effect.
What the fuck? It's like shoving me around because it has such high mass. It's like knocking me around. Oh, the other ones are getting knocked around too because they still have normal mass. Dude, they're getting like
Yeah, they're fucked.
what is that? What are they're like locusts.
Yeah.
This is cool. This is like a cool enemy type. This is a swarm. I'm just getting fucked up, bumped around. Whoa, that one just launched me up. I'm not doing that. Why did it like fling me into the air? God, this
Somebody
is so cool.
got right under you. Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm gonna move the sphere out of the way completely and let them just swarm, become like a dust cloud. Insane. Just sent me flying. So I think this is gonna stay like perpetual forever, because the small ones are gonna keep knocking the lighter ones around constantly, because it has such a higher mass. This is such a unique effect, because like you would expect it to be the opposite, like the big one would knock shit around, but when it's the small ones knocking around, it gives the the effect of like, yeah, of like a little tiny fucking thing just knocking you the fuck out. Like Locust was the first thing I thought of immediately. This is so bizarre. Okay, I need to just do this on my own time. It's just, look, it's like matched my ball size now. Okay, I'm done.
We have one more line to put in, but I don't understand where we put it.
Our approach is fairly robust, but not perfect. One assumption we make is that gravity remains constant for a given position. Once we've stopped applying gravity, the bodies remain where they are, even if gravity were to suddenly flip. There might be some other cases where our assumptions fail as well. For example, bodies might move very slowly, or the floor might disappear while we're floating but not yet sleeping. Also, we don't need to worry about sleeping if a body is short-lived anyways, like a temporary debris. So let's make it configurable whether a body is allowed to float so that it can go to sleep.
I don't know what's his ... you know?
Oh, I see. Well, there's only
Two.
so many things in our fixed update, right?
Is he putting all of that within?
Well,
I think
everything
he's
before
I
body
think he's
add
putting
force.
Yeah, I think he's putting everything before body add force in a if float to sleep.
Okay, that makes sense.
So we're just like saying it's just a Boolean to say do this or not.
So we're checking if it should be allowed to float or not?
Not yet sleeping. I think I don't know. I mean, all it's doing is saying whether or not we should be. Oh no, it's still adding the gravity afterward. So I think the idea is, like he said, if it's sleeping and the floor disappears, or no, well, it's floating, the floor disappears, and we're not sleeping. Also, we don't need to worry about sleeping if a body is short-lived anyway, like temporary debris. Oh, like temporary debris.
So it just makes it so that each individual object we can check whether or not it will float into a sleep or if it'll just immediately sleep. And
I
that's for
think
like
so.
temporary objects like debris or something.
Yeah, because right now it's if we if float to sleep is off, then it's just doing what it was doing before, which is the physics, just keeping track and putting it to sleep when it should sleep. So we're just saying whether or not we should take that into it. Like, should we just keep adding gravity to it, or should we keep it alive and let it sleep? Like, it could be a thing where everything just drops into a kill plane, like debris, where we would kill it in like 10 seconds or whatever.
Yeah.
So we don't need to worry about it like going back to sleep and then waking up again. It's kind of a loose ending.
Yeah, it went out with a bit of a whimper, dude. I guess because the next one goes so hard. Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Look, they're like not coming now. Wait. Are they?
Just float to sleep on or off.
Oh, I
Does
think I
that have
might
to
have.
do?
Shit, do I have to manually go and flip that on for all of them now? Yeah. Except this group right here. So now it's flipped on for all of them. So now it should hopefully behave normal. Yeah, okay. Ow, God. I just got hit with a cluster.
Honestly, I could see Aurobindo Plane being a planet, like a mini planet style game.
That's true. Yeah, I never really considered that.
Because it could be each level is just like on one sphere, you know, and you just load the levels onto a sphere instead of the original idea I had was just like preloading stuff onto a plane. But this could be a nice extra little like spice to it, you know, since it is more of just a exploration game idea, or I guess a puzzle game.
Walking sim.
Because I mean, then it's
No,
just
it's a
like,
puzzle
oh,
game.
this puzzle game has pretty nice movement. Like, I feel like that's something someone might say. Like, they got pretty good movement in this fucking little puzzle game.
That's what I don't. God, I gotta remember what. I guess I might be just thinking of Tab G, but I feel like this has happened before, where somebody has like the foundation for like a game they've been working on for hella long, and then they just make like a little side thing, and hella
Yeah.
people are like, "Why is this so good?" Like for this like joke side project. I think Cuisine Royale was like that. It was like
I don't know that game.
a silly battle royale game that came out that had like crazy physics and graphics, and it like felt super smooth and had like solid mechanics. But it was like a dumbass battle royale where you like hit each other with pans and eat food while you're playing. Like it was a really cool thing, and I think it was free. And everybody was just like, "Why is this so good?" Like, and I think
It
they
was
eventually said that they were working on like an actual World War II game.
before Tab G had the spells. There was a straight like nearly one-to-one rip off of Fortnite called Realm Royale
Oh,
that had
I know
like,
about Realm, yeah.
yeah, and that had spells in it. And I remember just I feel like it's been interesting seeing it like battle royales go from like they are like obviously Warzone's still very big and stuff, but like it's very nice to when like an indie game or an indie developer will just like with Tab G just like knock it out of the park and just show like it's not a big secret or anything. Like anyone seems to be able to make those games.
It kind of just hit me. I think this is actually I learned a technique like this for pathfinding in my robotics class. I didn't even realize this is like relevant, But there was one method they used for pathfinding where like they would envision the, I guess I could just draw it. Like if they had this and then there was like, you know, obstacle, 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 and then this is your robot and then this is your goal. I guess the obstacles aren't really in the way at all there. A way to like make it dynamically find a goal, they would make like a 3D thing where it was like, it's like a plane and then the obstacles are like big things popping up like this, and then the goal is like a big divot, so then it would fall down and then like avoid the things automatically
Oh yeah.
and go to the goal, which is like this hole. But then from a 2D isometric view, it just looks like you just went like all around it. I feel like there's kind of a comparison there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess we're done. We wrapped up custom gravity,
Yeah.
and tomorrow we got complex gravity, which now I'm like really excited for. So I guess the idea of this one is that you could have two parallel planets that each have their own gravitational force that you could hypothetically like jump between.
Yeah.
And this is where I think a lot of the, if we go the physics route with Hangler, a lot of that kind of shit would come from, because then we would set like, you know, this enemy is now a gravity pole, but then this one is also a gravity pole but lesser so, I guess, or something like that. I don't know. This just seems sick. So yeah, we'll dive into that tomorrow. We'll get that all wrapped up. And then after that, we got moving the ground, which is so lame compared to what we just did. I'm sure it'll have some complexity. I haven't looked at it yet, and I'll just let it be a surprise. But that sounds so fucking easy compared to what we just did. Like, we made Mario Galaxy crazy physics simulation, and then they're just like, yeah, this is how to make a platform slide. Like, come on.
Yeah. I'm sure he's gonna
go sicko mode with it. He'll find some way to make it crazy.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, thanks for watching, if you did, and we'll be back tomorrow to finish up Weirdo Gravity. Goodbye.